Presence detection just got a huge upgrade. The Aqara FP300 isn't your average motion sensor. It's an all-in-one multi-sensor with presence detection, temperature and humidity, and light sensors built right in. Instead of just picking up movement, it uses mmWave radar to detect presence in a room, even if you're sitting still. I've been testing this for a few months, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what makes it different, how it can be used in your smart home, and whether or not it's worth picking up on launch day.
Hey, I'm Robert, and Oconee Smart Homes exists to make real homes more convenient, accessible, and safe with smart home technology. We serve real customers right here in Oconee County, Georgia, but this channel is for anyone who wants to make a simpler, smarter home.
The FP300 is Aqara's latest presence sensor, and unlike previous versions, it uses a combination of PIR motion plus mmWave radar detection. This means it doesn't just detect movement, it can confirm you're in a room even if you're sitting still, like working, reading a book, or watching TV. But the big change is that unlike the FP1E or FP2, FP300 is battery powered. That means there's no cables to mess with or wires to route, you can place it anywhere. And I think once you have one, you're going to want one in every room. Now let's talk about key features. The first is precise presence detection. The FP300 initially triggers off of motion, but maintains that detection through the use of the mmWave radar. It's this combination of motion plus radar that makes it extremely accurate and cuts out those false lights off moments where you're waving your arms to try to get the lights to turn back on. I tested this with a simple automation in my office. When my presence is detected, turn the desk lamp green, and when my presence is not detected, turn the desk lamp red. And I'm happy to report that with the latest version of the firmware available at launch, the sensor has kept my presence maintained throughout most of my workday. This is helped in part by a new feature called the absence delay timer, which allows you to add a few seconds of variability in case your presence is not detected for a short period of time. And this has proven to help a lot. And next are the built-in multi-sensors. With temperature, humidity, and lighting sensors built in, there's no need for separate devices for those functions. And they allow for more powerful automations. Lights on only when you need them based on your presence and the ambient lighting in the room, and your climate controlled not just based on your comfort but your presence as well. And compared to Aqara's standalone temperature and humidity sensors, I found the FP300 to be just as accurate. Then there's the multi-protocol support for Matter. The FP300 supports both Thread and Zigbee, which means that you can use it with or without an Aqara hub. Right now, the Zigbee option does give you more configurability, but Aqara has said that they're working on bringing that same flexibility to Thread. And because it supports Matter, it's going to work in just about every ecosystem: Apple, Amazon, Google, SmartThings, etc. The design is minimal and compact, easy to mount on any wall, and because there's no wires, you can pretty much stick it anywhere. One thing to note though is that the mount is not as flexible as on previous versions, so you may have to get a little bit creative on how you mount this. And finally, there's configurability. You get fine-grained controls over the sensitivity of the presence detection, as well as control over the temperature, humidity, and light sensors. You can even disable those entirely to extend your battery life by about 30%. There are a few differences from previous generations that are worth calling out. First is its battery support only. So there's no cables to run, but you do have batteries to change. And unlike the FP2, this is a single zone detection only. It's also missing FP2's sleep and fall detections, but it adds the multiple sensors for temperature, humidity, and lighting. In real-world testing, I've been using this in my office, and so far the results have been great. The lights stay on when I'm sitting at my desk, no random shutoffs. The temperature changes based on my presence, and unlike other motion sensors or previous generations of the presence sensors, the automations just seem to be more reliable. I don't have nearly as many false detections as I did with the FP2, which just makes the automations feel more natural and stable. Let's cover the pros and the cons. First, the pros. The FP300 offers accurate presence detection. It packs multiple sensors into a single device, and it works across ecosystems with Matter. It's compact and cable-free. Compared to competitors like the Lafair, this thing is tiny. And the onboard AI learning and dual sensors reduce the false triggers compared to other sensors. And now for the cons. First is battery life. It's marketed as having a 2 to 3 year lifespan, but in my testing that was only a few months. Aqara has said that they're working on optimizing this so that that's true by the time it launches. And if that's the case, I'll be sure to update you.
I'm jumping back in a few weeks after my original footage to update you on the battery life. Yes, it has improved. Aqara has released some firmware updates that seem to have dealt with the drain on the battery, and now I'm about 2.5 weeks since I last changed the battery and it's still reporting at 100%. So that's good news, and hopefully means that we'll get the 2 to 3 year battery lifespan that Aqara is promoting. We'll just have to wait and see.
And like any mmWave sensor, the placement matters, as it can be triggered by pets or even ceiling fans. But unlike previous generations of Aqara sensors, this one is less flexible in how it can be mounted.
Let me show you what I mean. Most people are going to want to mount this in a corner so that it has the widest view of a room with a shot of the entrance and exit so that they can know when people are coming, going, or staying. But here's the problem with that. It's made to sit flat against a wall like this. All of the sensors are on the front. No detection is happening on the top or the bottom, so it has to sit out like this. And the mount has a little bit of give. Here's it down and left and right. But when you put that in a corner, here's what that looks like. And keep in mind that I would want the full view of the room. That's okay, but it's not great. It's not going to give me the full field of view that I'm hoping for. What I think will probably happen is third-party companies will come up with custom mounts for inside corners, outside corners, maybe some other creative mounting options. They might even have things that you can 3D print at home, and I'll have to be on the lookout for that because that's going to come in handy.
So that's the Aqara FP300. It's a big step forward from traditional motion sensors, and it may be the most practical new device for creating reliable smart home automations. With its proven presence detection, built-in environmental sensors, and Matter support, this may be the one device that you want in every room in your home. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out, and don't forget to subscribe to stick around for more smart home testing and real-world use cases. I'm already planning on installing these in customers' homes and seeing how they perform long-term. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.